Hey friends, today I'm going to be creating some little banner embellishments. These were used creating the Rosie Studios Midnight Moonlight collection, and these little ghosts are so adorable. Then I used some items that I had in my stash, like this really cute bow that I got in a swap. I've got some cutouts that I've used, my Cricut, a little haunted house, and one of the spider webs. I've got a little paper ruffle back here, little Hobby Lobby Target stickers, and I also have a little ghosty dangle here on this one. And then this one, I just used a little orange bow from my stash, a plastic spider web that I got a bunch of these on Amazon, these little plastic spider webs, and so I used one of those, the haunted house that's part of this collection, another ruffle, a little candy piece, pumpkin, a spider, and some gems from my stash, and this one has a little bat hanging off of it. Too cute to spook. Those are so adorable. But today we are going to make one using the Toil and Trouble Collection from Rosie Studios. So what you're going to need is cardstock and your pattern paper, and I'm going to use this ones with the ravens, and I'm going to use my black Hobby Lobby cardstock as my base. You're going to need your hot glue gun or some type of glue, scissors, bone folder. You're going to need tools for your dangle. I've got my foam squares from the Dollar Tree. I also have some different trims over here to pull from for some layering. I have my ephemera that I have fussy cut from this collection in this little drawer. I also have my little container here of different pieces that I've cut out, or like this little pumpkin was gifted to me in a swap. I've got some different things in here that we'll probably pull and layer. And then I have 2 jump rings and 2 little charms to dangle off our projects. So let's go ahead and get started. So my back piece for this one measures 3, and I'm going to cut it about 3 by 4.5 because I want to make sure I have enough to fold over the back. And these measured, as you can see, these were measured just slightly, about 1/8 of an inch bigger. These were, the back piece was about 3 1/8, but I wanted to do these just a smidge smaller. So our base piece is 3 by 4.5. And you are also going to need some sort of paper straw. You could use like these bones from Dollar Tree. Whatever you have, you could use that. But I'm going to use a paper straw. And then I also added pom-poms on the end of mine, so if you wanted to do that as well. So since my base piece is 3, I'm going to cut this piece out 2 7/8, so 1/8 of an inch smaller. And then I did not wrap my pattern around here. So I do not need my piece to be that big. So what I did is I actually just cut this, figured out, then created the back piece, and then cut this according so I didn't waste any paper. So let's go ahead and start creating. So what I did is I actually scored mine about 1 inch down, or 1/2 inch down, I mean. For this one, I'm not going to score it. I'm just going to fold it over my straw. I'm going to figure out how much of my straw I want to stick out. And I'm going to cut my paper straw. And then just to give this a little bit more stability, I'm going to use some double-sided tape, and I'm just going to put about, you could put 1 or 2 rows. I'm just going to do 1 row of that. And then I'm going to add some hot glue down and center my straw. And then I'm going to work on folding this over. And I'm going to add my glue now right on my straw. And then so I don't burn myself, I'm going to use my bone folder to really push that into the glue and work that in so we have a nice strong base for our banner. And then because my banner was kind of going back, I just kind of worked my paper a little bit to kind of let it lay a little bit flatter. There we go. So now we have our base piece, and then I'm going to bring this piece over decide how long I want my banner to be, and then I'm going to make a little mark and cut this. You could use your paper trimmer. I'm just going to use my scissors for this. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to cut that, and then I popped mine up with a single layer of foam tape. Before I do that, I want to cut my banner though. Let's cut our banner, and you can just cut it. I like to kind of roughly cut up the middle as a guide, and then cut from there. So I roughly have my banner even. And I'm going to turn my light on. We are getting rain today. It's really cloudy out there. So I want to turn that light on just to help myself as much as hopefully give you a better view. So let's add some foam tape down. And then I'm going to center this up towards the top. And then we're going to go back in and fishtail our black, leaving about that 1/8 of an inch of a border. And we are left with our base here so we can start decorating. If you want to add your pom-poms, you could do that now. Let's see if I have some purple ones. You could add beads, anything like that that you wanted. I'm going to go ahead and add mine now. It's going to be easier than after I have layered it up, I think. I like covering up the raw straw there with the pom-poms. Alright, so I think I'm going to layer this one, this nice one here that kind of reminds me of a spider web. I got this at Ross last year for $3.99. So I'm going to add that down, and I'm just going to use some of my AdTech and add a couple lines of that down right in the center because we're going to cover that up anyway. That'll just hold our trim there for now. And now we can have fun and start building up our banner. So I added some pieces in the back. So I started with a ruffle, which I do not have one in this paper collection. Let's see if I have one. We could use this one that's stitched from my stash. So we're going to add a ruffle in the background. And I'm going to add that about in the center. This will also help hold our trim down. So let's add this here. And you could fishtail these ends too if you wanted. I'm just going to leave them squared off for this one. Alright, so now we can start building up. I want to add a tombstone, I think. I want to add a tombstone. And let's see, I think I might have a black cat in here. I might have already used it. There we go. Thinking the tombstone, the black cat. I also have some of these pumpkin ones that I have stitched together. I also have the spider. Kind of like the black cat. So we're just going to start layering pieces and building up. There's a little witch sequins. So we're going to just start building up our base and then decorating from there. So I'm only putting my foam tape on the top and the bottom and leaving this blank because it's going to sit right here on our ruffle. So I'm going to add some glue in that middle part too so that we can attach it down to the ruffle. I'm going to set this at an angle, and there is our tombstone. I think I want to add a little bit of detail to the tombstone, so I'm just going to go in with my jelly roll pen. And I should have done this first. Thought a better surface. There we go. All right. So we've got that, and then let's add the cat down next. Oh, the poor cat's tail is about to fall off. Alright, so I only need a piece there. And I'm going to double up, I think, the cat. Give it more dimension than the tombstone. And this cat, because its tail is falling off, is going to be a tailless cat. Alright, let's add our cat down. Poor kitty lost its tail. Alright, now let's start adding some of these pieces. So I definitely want to add a sentiment. Maybe this something spooky comes your way. Oh, I have a larger raven as well. So we could add that, and we could put the larger raven. I like this 31. But we need to make sure we have some sort of sentiment. Maybe that. We can pop one of the extra skulls up. Something like that. Maybe I really did cover up the cat this time, which is perfectly fine. Let's see. Because I don't know if I want to use any of these flowers. We could add some of the flowers back there, kind of like that. And then we have that. Okay, I think I like that. Maybe we'll hold off on using this bow. So there we go. You could take a picture of this so you memorize where everything is. But I'm going to kind of pull it off. I know I'm going to lay my flower down. And I'm just going to lay my flower down flat. So I'm just going to add a little bit of my adhesive here. Add that down. And then we'll start popping up the other pieces. So I'm going to pop up this little jar. So we're going to add that here. And then we're going to pop up our bird, our little raven. And I think I'm going to pop him up twice because I really want him to stand out from this little apothecary jar, or whatever you call that thing. All right, so let's add our raven. And then I'm going to add the little skull down as well. Let's see, we can add the skull. We're going to use this Creep It Real. It's going to go there. And then we have our 31. Trim away some of that lighter color. So let's do the 31 up here, tucked in there, and then we can add this down. So we need a little foam tape for that, and we need to add our dangle. So I'm going to be using my crocodile for this to add a eyelet in here. So I'm just going to add my eyelet right at the end. There we go. And then I don't have to struggle with trying to add that eyelet in after I've attached everything together. And I'm also going to grab my jump ring and go ahead and add this on as well. That's just going to help me out, help future me out. And let's see, I think I want to add the spider because this is really kind of creepy. So let's add the spider. So we're going to have the spider dangle from Creep It Real. Awesome. Alright, so we need to add a little bit of foam tape to where this is going to be sitting across here. I think we're going to have to add 2 layers. There we go. And then we're going to need to do the same thing on this side. Double check that that is enough of foam tape. All right, I think I need to add 1 more piece on this left side. That's why I don't peel my foam tape off until I make sure I have it exactly how I want it. There we go. Now, well, maybe I didn't need that piece. Yeah, that's good. All right, so let's add this down next. There we go. It's coming together. Super cute. Now we can decide. Oh, I put my spider on backwards, I think. Well, yeah. I'm going to flip my spider around where it hangs the other way. Darn it. You've got like a 50-50 chance sometimes with these. Like, I thought I had it going the right way. Okay, so we got our creepy little spider on here. It's coming together. We have our little skull we can add somewhere. Like, you want to cover up that spider, you could add it here. Or tuck it in down there. I actually think I might hold off on using the skull. And we're going to hold off on using that because I kind of like how this is coming together. Okay, so now that we have that together, we can add some gems or flat backs. And I've got this bag here that came in a paper cherries kit, and I've been wanting to use these up. So let's add in, maybe tuck in one of these stripes, black and white stripes, and maybe let's add a pop of green in here. Let's do one there. And let's tuck one in here. There we go. And you could add some smaller ones in if you wanted to. But how cute is that? So here is the one we created today using the Toil and Trouble Collection from Rosie Studio. And then these 2 I created using the Midnight Moonlight, which is kind of a cutesy collection. So I love how these turned out. So adorable. And perfect size for adding to different projects. Alright guys, thanks so much for stopping by. As always, I will have the link to these two awesome digital collections linked down below, as well as a link to Rosie Studio. And I will link any of the Amazon tools that I used in the video down in the description box as well. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Bye.